I'm so happy you believed in us, Macy.
Please, I'm a star!
Hello all, Thomas here. I hope you're having a lovely day when you're watching this, or at least as nice of a day that you can. I'm sending you good vibes if you need them. Or even if you don't need them, good vibes. Today we continue our descent into Season 5. We're going to spiral even further because, oh boy, these episodes. We begin actually not with plot, but rather filler. I'm having Season 6 flashbacks. But what makes this filler episode special is that unlike the beautiful episodes like Holla Winx or the one about Musa's mother in Season 2, this filler episode gives us nothing. You go, girl, give us nothing. Well, they try to have a little arc about Flora believing in herself, but it doesn't really go anywhere. It's not really relevant at all. It doesn't feel like a Flora episode, it's just kind of there. And what makes this episode weird, too, is the fact that it actually was the first episode premiered for Season 5 in the US. This was like the world premiere of Season 5 instead of The Spill, which is especially odd because it has nothing to do with the rest of the season. And I was like, okay, is Winx Club just gonna have random episodes like this now? But no, it was a one-time thing. I'm still not sure why they aired this one first. I don't think anyone knows. I don't even think Nickelodeon knows. But at the very least, it gave us Elizabeth Gillies' We Are Believix. Was it worth it? Quite frankly, yes.
We'll turn your smile up now. We're flying high and proud.
Look, that music video, better representation of the franchise than Fate could ever dream of being. And also better practical effects. At least they have actual wings instead of the fucking hideous, weird-ass elemental wings. Anyway, the Lilo. Every time I hear Lilo, I think of Lilo and Stitch, and I think of how much I need to rewatch that movie because it was fucking iconic.
You know, you wreck everything you touch.
Behold the strongest ice spells in the whole magic dimension.
Aw, the tricks are trying to impress me. Y'all have not been threatening in years, so I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. Do better, Tricks. Do better.
Get your fucking ass up and work.
And then training sequence.
You must maintain your speed, Flora.
Gotta go faster, 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 faster.
This feels very odd. I get training to fight the Tricks, but this feels like a class, and again, they're trying to make us think the Winx are students again.
Focus your power!
I don't know, I feel like that training exercise felt weird. Is this supposed to be the equivalent of the Enchantix training in Season 3? Because it's not.
This is a strange class. We're miles from school and in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, I've heard about this. It's the special training area that Faragonda has set up for Enchantix fairies.
Focus on what you love the most.
Helia!
Okay, that was cute. It was random, and it has nothing to do with the plot of the episode, but it was cute. Wait, what plot?
When I think of you, Helia, I believe in you.
When I think of you, Helia, I get beaten by a geyser. I swear that's not a euphemism. Fucking hell.
Focus on what you love the most. You can't catch me, gay thoughts.
Headmistress Faragonda wants to see you all in her office.
Wow, they are students. Okay.
I'm afraid it concerns the Lilo.
I've heard of it.
Of course you've heard of it.
Because you Winx brought magic back to Earth, the Lilo will blossom there for the first time in centuries.
Ooh, okay, see, shit like that I actually really like. Seeing the effects of magic being brought back to Earth. I wish we had more stuff like this. Wait, if this is a big deal, where's Nebula? Where's Diana? It's a flower, it's her thing.
Let me introduce myself. I am Diana, Major Fairy of Nature.
As Believix fairies, this is our responsibility.
If only this happened after we got harmonics, then this would not be our fucking problem anymore.
You cannot allow it to fall into the wrong hands.
Do you think she's talking about us?
No, Darcy, she's talking about Santa Claus. I like to imagine this plot would force the Tricks to learn how to garden, and they just wind up killing all of the flowers and burning it to the ground. And it would be fucking hilarious.
Vacuums! Take us to the Lilo.
Oh, yay, the Wisperian crystals. I refuse to call them the vacuums. Vacuums is such a stupid name. It feels so weird that they're brought back this one time. Like, why? Where are they the rest of the time? Oh god, modern Gardenia. Ew! Ugh, I hate it. How many times do I have to say it? Like, old Gardenia in the first 3 seasons, beautiful, love the art direction, warm colors, very organic, very cohesive. Weirdly abstract, but I'm kind of here for it. Modern Gardenia is just so ugly to behold. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, the CGI compared to the 2D puppets is so aggressively obvious.
I believe that one day this plant will be a beautiful flower.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Macy is very cute. I love her, even though she only shows up the one time. How did Macy even get the Lilo? Did it just happen next to her? Like, what determines where the Lilo shows up? Also, kind of nice to see Mitzi again, being her usual horrible self.
We'll go to the community garden so that you can plant your silly plant.
Fun fact, she's voiced by Daniela Monet, aka Trina from Victorious. And that was one of my favorite things as a kid.
I'm a woman in Chicago who's scared.
It makes sense that the Lilo is here in Gardenia. This is where we became Believix fairies.
It feels so weird that they're trying to acknowledge season 4's events when they've tried to erase all of their consequences. It's like, did season 4 happen or did it not? You can't exist in this weird middle ground where, like, you're all, we brought magic back to Earth, but also we're 16 and we're Alphea students again. Please stop.
Sisters.
Stormy stole Darcy's voice.
The Winx.
Ugh, move it.
Icy's like, no, we can't get beat up yet. We can't get beat up yet. Oh my god, they remembered that Vanessa has a flower shop.
Because if the vacuums can't lead us to the Lilo, maybe the Winx can.
Oh, check.
Check what? What was that supposed to... Okay.
Oh.
I do love Flora trying to be useful, though. It's nice. It feels kind of rare we get to see them use their powers in unique ways anymore. It should be less I sense the Lilo and more like I can hear the Lilo's voice and it's very faint and it's asking for help, maybe. And maybe it's also like drowned out by the voices of all the other plants and trees in the city. I don't know, I think that would be cool. The way that the tricks are like, let's hide when y'all are in the most obvious outfits.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Also, couldn't y'all turn invisible a couple episodes ago? Is that not possible here? How is no one noticing a bunch of flying witches?
Layla, I need a long and thin Morphix rope. Calm down, everyone. We're shooting a film, and we need you to stand back or you'll be in the shot.
What? But if Macy stopped for lunch, how would no one catch up to that? Whatever. This montage is so boring. Oh my god. It's like the season 4 montages, except worse. At least the season 4 montages were telling like a compelling story in a short amount of time. Oh god, what was that frame rate? Okay, I will admit, the mall seems like a fun place for a fight. Anybody else remembering the Downtown Magic's brawl? That, except in a mall. And also not good. Something something commercialism, something something capitalism, something something consumerism. I'm working on head empty energy, guys.
Who cares? There's a sale on.
Oh, Stella, what have they done to you? Oh, a music shop. Hey, Musa. That make you think of anything? Like, music career? Jason Queen? Hello? I wonder if Bloom knew that Mitzi had a sister. Oh, no. Ooh, there was an electric guitar when they showed up. Ooh, I was kind of into that.
Wow, the trick's cool.
Wait, how would the people of Earth know who the Tricks are? They had nothing to do with season 4. What the fuck? Although I will admit, if the Tricks were common knowledge to the people of Gardenia, Mitzi would absolutely be a Trick stan. Mostly because she'd be rooting for Icy to murder Bloom.
No. What?
Macy, run for your little life. Run as far as those tiny little legs can take you.
Please, really?
Why was that actually kind of funny?
Magic Winx! Believe it!
By the time y'all finish transforming, they'll have gotten the Lilo and killed Macy. Good God. I will say, I feel like part of this episode maybe is to be a farewell to Believix. I don't know, like they're not really doing anything especially interesting, but it feels like in general this episode is supposed to be like saying goodbye to Believix before they lose it. which is so odd.
Winx, we are facing a serious situation on Earth, and it involves your Believix powers.
It feels so weird because Believix, I think, too, was probably the most heavily advertised form of the franchise. It feels like Enchantix never really got its time to shine, but Believix was fucking everywhere for years in all of Rainbow's advertising and merchandising. This season was even called Beyond Believix when it aired on Nickelodeon.
There will be riddles. There will be tricks. When I take you beyond Believix. Don't miss Winx Club Beyond Believix.
So it was like weirdly trying to get as much as they could out of Believix. Even like the promos for the 1 hour specials, like recapping the first 2 seasons, the promos would always have those Believix wings as graphics, which looked beautiful, but it's like, Jesus Christ, enough with Believix. Well, she tried. Aw, the tricks can only manage to frighten a little girl. How far they have fallen.
Let her go!
No way. That's it.
It also feels weird because Mitzi isn't really getting any interaction with the Winx whatsoever, which is weird because she's caused them so much grief.
Come on!
Coming.
Okay, but Macy kicking Stormy in the shin is fucking iconic. God, they're pathetic.
It broke my concentration!
She tricked you again! Will you pay attention, Stormy?
Stereo crash!
Oh my god, Muse's speakers. I've missed them so. And Stormy's like, creative, original magic. We will have none of that.
Techno, stop!
Why does that feel like the first time Techna has spoken in this episode?
The tricks are trickier than ever.
Aisha, no. No.
Hey there. Hey there.
Which is which?
No. Just no.
Stop talking, go to jail.
God, these fights are so boring. Everyone just kind of stands there. I will admit, though, I really like the Dark Cloud spell. I wish he used that more. I'm just thankful, as little as this episode gives Flora, it's still a Flora episode, and not Bloom. Although I'm pretty sure Bloom steals the ending shot anyway, so I guess nothing matters. Okay, but that Icy shot is meme-worthy.
And who's gonna stop me?
You.
Yeah, me.
Okay, but Flora versus Icy, I will admit, it's cool. It's very cool. I wish there was actually a story here about Flora believing in herself because there's so much material to work with. Like, she's been the punching bag for years. People call her the weakest. They say she has nothing but vine spells. But Flora actually has the most diverse magic of the bunch, and she's a powerhouse when she wants to be. As much grief as I give the werewolf episode in season 6, at least Flora was a powerhouse there. And I feel like the Lilo is kind of like the proto version of that. Like, she's on her way to like fucking murdering Icy with the power of nature, but she's not quite there yet. Flora has this brief encounter with Icy, but there's no real conclusion to it. The other Winx just kind of show up to help her. The only real conclusion you could say is Flora bodying Icy with her shield. Macy just gave the fuck up.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh my god! Stella was aiming for Macy! That hit between their heads. That would have hit Macy if she didn't duck. Stella, what the fuck? Stella said death to the children.
Hello there, I'm Flora.
I know. I'm Macy.
Aww. I am so willing to bet that Macy is a Flora stan because she has taste.
Oh man, we killed it.
Oh wow, they said the word kill. I'm not used to that. Can we do it more? This feels so weird though. I feel like there should be a story behind the Lilo, but there's not. Also, where the fuck is Diana? Like, seriously. Like, girl, you were laying siege to the city with, like, all kinds of horrifying nature and giant spiders, but you couldn't bother helping out when we got a magical plant? And no one stopped them. Of course they didn't. But it's fine, because apparently, even if they get the magic of the Lilo, they can still be stopped. So I guess it wasn't a big deal after all. So we did this for nothing. No one learned a damn thing.
Well, I guess what I learned is, if you're gonna reach for a star, reach for the lowest one you can.
Goodbye, Bloom.
Wow, okay. Mitzi just full on going like, die, bitch. Why is Mitzi part of the crowd? Like, Mitzi, 2 seconds ago you were like, die, Bloom.
Goodbye, Bloom.
12 seconds later.
We believe in you, Winx.
We believe
yeah,
in
we
you
do.
Evil will never win. Yeah.
This feels so hollow.
'Cause I feel hollow. As long as people believe in us, we will never stop fighting you, Trix.
Oh, well then.
It feels so hollow. Like, Believix could be so cool, but it just feels so ingenuine and insincere. It's like when people talk about, like, the magic of friendship in anime, but most of the time, the reason why it doesn't work is because it feels insincere. It's like a lazy way to resolve the conflict, and oftentimes it isn't really about the sincere connections and friendships people have. It's just nothing. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really feel like the Winx have a real connection with the people of Gardenia, at least not anymore. Oh god, the We Are Believix sequence. I don't know why this exists, but I don't hate it. It's cheesy, yes, but it's there. At least the song is fire. I fucking love Elizabeth's vocals, holy shit. This is a fucking bop. This is everything. The song, the lyrics are super cheesy and glittery, and I love it so fucking much. It's an earworm. I will die with this song. It's still in my head. That said, this sequence feels very odd. I'm like, why are we doing this? Yeah, this really does feel like a send-off to Believix. And they're like, don't you love Believix? Don't you want Believix dolls and merchandise? That's what it's feeling to me. And it feels especially awkward considering they're gonna lose Believix in the next episode, but whatever.
I knew it would turn into a beautiful flower.
Why are you telling that to Bloom? You stand Flora.
Oh, I'm so happy you believed in us, Macy.
Fuck off, Bloom. This is Flora's moment.
Please, I'm a star!
Okay, that happened. Yeah, that episode was, it exists. It doesn't have a reason to exist, but it exists. It's not terrible, it's just why. Like, you could skip that episode and, like, lose absolutely nothing from season 5. I feel like you could use the Lilo to tell a very interesting story about Flora learning to believe in herself, but that's not really what they did. They had Flora go, oh no, I'm weak. Oh no, I'm not weak. I bodied Icy. And then it was over. There was no, like, actual interesting conflict for Flora to learn from or explore. If things just kind of happened. And the rest of the Winx, as a result, felt very, bland. Like they weren't really doing anything and they felt like a fucking hive mind, especially at the end. I think Techna got one line. Great. So that happened. Anyway, we move on to the actual plot now. The power of harmonics. Oh god, this episode. Oh. This one also has a lot of interesting ideas, but I have so much beef with it.
Headmistress Faragonda wants to see us.
And she wants us to bring the Cyrenix book.
When doesn't she want to see you?
I thought you might remember this.
Bloom, how many times do we have to do this song and dance of you trying to remind Sky of things and it doesn't work?
You said it smells like a warm fire on a cold night, or the first day of spring. You said it smells like happiness. You said it smells like me.
Oh, okay, that's actually really cute. I feel like spring is very important for them because they wanted their wedding to be like the first day of spring.
Sky, this is Princess Diaspro.
I have a whole video about, like, Diaspora deserving better. This bin makes no fucking sense. Why is she here? The last we saw of her, she was banished from Heraklion after drugging Sky with a potion she got from Valtor, the wizard trying to conquer the magical dimension.
How's Diaspora?
She is history. After you guys broke that spell, she was banished from Heraklion. We will never hear from her again.
Why is she here? Why is no one, like, going, oh, fuck, it's her. She might try to hurt us again. Why? Why? Also, thanks, Crystal, for getting involved in business that had nothing to do with you.
Isn't it wonderful she's here?
Fantabulous.
Seriously, this is why I make Crystal a bitch in the rewrite, because I'm like, at this point, just make her an antagonist. She's already ruining all of the lives.
There's the curse of Cyrenix. And we don't even know what that means.
None of us know what it means even now. Like, the Cyrenix curse isn't even really a factor for the rest of the season. Like, it never affects the Winx at all. It doesn't even feel like the form is cursed. It feels like Daphne herself is cursed and the form is not. Like, what the fuck?
If you fail in the quest for Cyrenix, you will lose your powers forever.
You know, like those other times you've lost your powers. So, it doesn't mean a jack shit.
Now,
Today is the challenge of Graynor.
It's the way that this has nothing to do with anything that's happening. Like, the idea of Graynor as an ancestral home for fairies and its challenge is so cool. I love it. But it has fucking nothing to do with the plot. Which is why I tied it in with it being the way for the Winx to prove themselves to open the book. I'm pretty sure this is actually how they were supposed to originally earn harmonics, especially because the prototype, the lyrics mention nature's key. Which is the thing the ancestral spirit of nature gives them when they win the challenge.
Nature's key.
I don't know why it was changed. Okay, sure, alright. I would have done that in the rewrite, but harmonics was completely pointless, so I just gutted it completely. So, you know. Okay, but the environment design is everything. Graynor is gorgeous. Also, love the design of the spirit. The branches, the leaf skirt, the hair, just yes, I love all of it. I wish there was a reason for that tree to exist. I did call it the Tree of Fairies in the rewrite, and it's like connected to all the fairy magic of the magical dimension. It is weird though, because I complain about the amount of important books, but there's also an amount of weird important trees. This is also kind of cool because we're getting to see like fairies from other magic schools, but we don't know where they're from. We don't know anything about them. And I'm like, who are you? Where are you from? Why are you here?
Who are you people?
Half of us should search the mountain and the other half the forest around the river.
Excellent.
What the fuck? Why is Tritanus... Okay, sure, whatever. I'm imagining the Winx look over like 5 feet and see Tritanus in the water and they're like, dude, what the fuck? You literally just told us your whole plan. And Tritanus is like, no, I didn't. Shut up.
Come on, Stella. We always wear heels.
I'm sorry if I seem cold. At home on Zenith, people don't show their emotions.
Yeah, it feels like they're trying to set up like their conflicts for this season, but it's very haphazard and very like they rotate between the girls without like much care. Like, this is nice that they say they trust Tecna and Tecna opening up about her struggling with her emotions. But again, it's ground we've already covered. And then suddenly it's like Musa's like talking about her dead mom.
My mother taught me. She would have loved to see Graynor.
You don't talk about her much.
Well, maybe I'll start.
Oh, that's a sweet moment. But she never does.
You never really lose your parents, unless, of course, they die, and then they're gone forever. And nothing will bring them back. Right, Daddy? See? No response.
If we don't even try to become Cyrenix fairies,
We'll never be able to defeat Tritanus.
Are there no other aquatic forms that don't involve an ancient curse? Is that the one? Like, what? Where's the mermaid form from the comics?
I finally get it. And I've thought of something. These enchanted strawberries will attract magical creatures.
She changed the subject so quick. She's like, yeah, I get it. I get the deep trauma both of you were going through. Anyway, here's some strawberries. Does that look like a rainbow creature to you? It also feels weird because why are the Tricks just standing there? Did they create the monster? Because, like, they don't really say. Damn, the Tricks trying to be relevant. Fucking course, Flora gets fucking captured and knocked out.
Oh, Lord. Again. Again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit. Same old fucking shit.
God, this is so boring. Again, it's like, this could be used for really interesting conflict, but it's so not being done for that. It's just, here's a random, useless quest for us to do that has nothing to do with the plot. Or our character arcs, which, for the most part, do not exist. Like, it would have been so easy for them to, like, get harmonics from this, and at least then it would be somewhat important.
That's not the rainbow creature. That's the rainbow creature.
Have you ever seen a gayer deer? It is pride antlers.
Actually, I think we're the scary ones here.
You haven't been the scary ones in years.
Hey!
Love them just laughing for eternity, not even noticing that, like, the people they were targeting attacked them. Oh, thank God we didn't have to sit through another Believix sequence. Thank you, God. It feels so stupid that Believix doesn't really work on them anymore because, like, what? A power-up from, like, a trash mermaid or merman, whatever, a trash merman was enough for you to overcome the magic of people's belief on Earth? Ooh, well, good luck, horsey.
I think I'll give it a push.
It's the way Icy is so eager to commit animal abuse. Oh my god.
Morphix way! Autumn win!
Why did Flora pause? What the fuck? Why did she pause?
We're so strong!
I can't believe they think they can beat us.
Well, look at it this way. They can't.
We've got to protect the others. We can't let the tricks hurt them.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
It's so annoying too because so much of the dialogue is just like, we have to do mission statement, and also we have to stop the tricks, and the tricks are so much stronger. Like, it's wasting valuable screen time telling us things we already know. Like, there's no witty battle banter like there was in the old days. Like, whenever the tricks were fighting the Winx in the old seasons, there was always banter in their fights. They weren't just screaming about, like, who was stronger.
Shadow Hand!
Okay, but Darcy's Shadow Hand spell was fucking cool. God, the Winx are pathetic.
10 seconds later.
Icicle barrage!
Do none of you have shields?
The creature of the rainbow mantle.
Huh?
Behold, Pride Horse. The horse, I'm pretty sure, is also trans, or gender fluid. Because, like, the horse is using she, her pronouns now.
Find the creature of the rainbow mantle. Lead her here.
And then in season 7, the horse is, I'm pretty sure, male and has, like, a male voice.
The worms are the guardians of wild magic, just like I'm the guardian of fairy magic.
So the horse is trans. Trans rights. That's the only good part of this episode, aside from harmonics. You were defeated by the power of the gay agenda, which is just to be, I don't know, a good person, but also gay. It feels weird that this is only half the episode. Because, like, the first half of the episode is the Graynor challenge, and then the second half is just fumbling around starting the Cyrenix quest. And I'm like, why is it structured like that? Why not just have the whole episode be the Graynor challenge? And, like, flesh out the story a bit more? It's just so confusing.
And she has found you worthy.
And I've decided to not give you a transformation. All I'm gonna give you is glitter. This should be the moment that they earn harmonics, but it's not, and I'm just gonna pretend that it is.
What was closed to you will now be open.
And also that would make harmonics cooler, because then it's like the power of nature.
Nature has given you the Butterflex power, because you have proven yourselves the true defenders of the fairy animals.
And honestly, I would prefer harmonics to Butterflex any day of the week.
Wow, the forest itself is guiding us. It recognizes us as part of itself.
Our melding with nature is complete, and it sure is a pleasant feeling.
And personally, I am of the belief that they should have taken the Bloomix Mythics route. Harmonics is the new default, and then Cyrenix only gets used in the Infinite Ocean, only in 3D, because I don't want to see it in 2D.
The quest for Cyrenix begins, but know this.
It's also weird because the Cyrenix book has a male voice in Italian.
Avete ancora un'ultima prova da affrontare prima di conquistare la gemma del coraggio.
And then it's a woman in this dub, which is why. I feel like this voice should have been Omnia, but whatever.
I am Omnia.
And you are Cyrenix fairies now. Enter the Infinite Ocean.
To gain Cyrenix, you must find the gems of self-confidence, empathy, and courage.
You must find the MacGuffins that have jack shit to do with any of your non-existing character arcs.
Your guardians have granted you a new fairy power, harmonics.
Why didn't they just get harmonics from the spirit? Why did they get harmonics from the stupid boxes? And also, wait, harmonics can be used freely in the ocean.
It will allow you to swim faster and use your powers freely in the ocean.
Why didn't we just get harmonics? Why do we even need Cyrenix? You know what? Fuck the cursed form. Let's just use harmonics and just beat the shit out of Tritanus and save the day. Who needs Cyrenix? It's so stupid. The fact that harmonics only exists as training wheels for Cyrenix, like, are you kidding me? Why? Oh god. Again, the idea of the Cyrenix quest is interesting. I like the idea of them going on a little odyssey, you know, Greek-inspired, for a transformation. It's just this one has jack shit to do with anything, which is why I had it tie into each of them, because it was each of them proving one at a time that they were worthy of Cyrenix, and also developing part of their character, you know, for their arcs that season. And that's also why each of them got a gem. I find it so weird that there are only 3 gems, and like there's a gap in the middle of each one where they're looking for clues.
I'll help Tekna.
Me too. Thanks, you guys. The rest of us will go to Andros.
It also feels weird because they're trying to do this weird thing where the Winx split up into like pairs of 3 at a time for each mission, and it feels so unnecessary. Why? Like, why are we splitting up?
Hey, do you guys think we should split up?
No! To find the first gem, you must prove you have the virtue of self-confidence.
That's such a weird name for an ancient gem of mystic power. Self-confidence?
I asked my father to send us some transport.
You need transport? I thought we didn't care about interplanetary travel anymore. You can just fly to another world whenever you want. I guess Zoomix wings don't exist anymore. The sailor outfits are so cute though. I love them. And I don't hate the Odyssey Explorer. I think it's very cute, honestly. If we must have toyetic elements, at least it's cute.
Princess Aisha, your father sent me. I'm Roy.
Oh god, Roy. Oh god, Roy, why do you exist? Like, it doesn't feel Aisha is learning to deal with her grief over losing Naboo and then moving on. It feels like the writing is trying to force her to move on. And also, Roy is about as interesting as a sack of potatoes. I think it would have been more interesting if, like, he kept trying to hit on her and Aisha was like, no, dude, I'm not interested, which is kind of the route I went.
I've loaded the Andros data you supplied into the simulator. It should be an exact replica of the actual oceans of Andros.
I really don't get why they're exploring the oceans of Andros in the simulator and then sending information over to the others. Why not just, like, all of you go to Andros? What the fuck?
I think I should go down before you.
We can handle ourselves.
Oh.
Be nice.
Oh yeah, Aisha's reaction there was weird. Because like it's giving the vibe that like Aisha is being overly hostile to Roy, and I'm like, I feel like y'all wanted Roy to be a bit like insensitive at times, especially considering Aisha likes to do things herself, but you did not do that. You just made Aisha seem very rude for no reason. Oh, Harmonix, I love you. This song deserves justice. This song is fucking everything. I love it so much. The designs are beautiful and elegant. They all have unique wings that are all gorgeous and actually look appropriate for the water. The dresses are beautiful. They're a bit too samey, but they're still very pretty. I love the detail in the transformation where the wings are part of the skirt. The hairstyles are beautiful. I love that they all have seashells as crowns. I love the pastel palette. The sequences. Can we talk about these fucking backgrounds in the sequences? Oh, they're fucking stunning. Harmonix deserved so much better. Harmonix deserved the world. How is this the training wheels for Cyrenix when it's so clearly superior in every fucking way? Harmonix looks like an ancient transformation of the sea. Cyrenix does not. They're so beautiful. Oh god. And they all have that cool effect in their wings too, where they each get like a little particle effect that's like their symbol. And I love it so much.
I guess your wings will be okay.
Oh, Elisa harmonizing like the goddess she is. Ugh. This was truly the last season of great music. Harmonix is so pretty. Why wasn't this Cyrenix? Like, seriously. Like, they're beautiful. They look way more unique from each other than they do in Cyrenix. Aww. And then cliffhanger that doesn't mean anything because we can see it's obviously a Selkie. I don't understand the structure of the episode. Why is half the episode the challenge of Graynor and then the other half is just fucking around? Why did we not get Harmonix from Graynor? I don't understand. Was it worth getting Harmonix? Yes. Yes, it was. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. I know I caught Harmonix, but that's mostly because I feel like Harmonix should have been Cyrenix, period. We don't need 2 aquatic transformations. We don't. We just need the 1. The only reason there are 2 is because we want to double our doll sales, which doesn't work when you send some of those Harmonix dolls to the graveyard without actually producing them. Oh, that was fun. I'm gonna go get lunch now and cry about Harmonix. Bye.